All right, happy Monday, everybody. We got a big daily broadcast ready to roll down the road for you tonight. We got Texas Tech football, the Ring of Honor, three new inductees, all worthy, no doubt. However, we ask the question, is it the right time for Wes Welker? We'll get into that and more as we go through tonight. Whether it's College World Series, Tech Baseball Portal, anything you want to talk about, we're here with you in the Arctic Air studios tonight, and we needed the Arctic Air. We needed to call the bear because it was getting a little warm today. But now the studios are nice. They're chilled out, just like us. Beautiful day, beautiful Monday here in West Texas. Glad you're with us in the Arctic Air studios. Now you know what to do. The early arrivals, whether you are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, doesn't matter. You share this. You invite your friends. You hit that little button there and it says share and say, hey, we're talking about West Texas, Texas Tech, things that you care about. And then you get your friends to jump in. That's real easy to do. So we'll allow the early arrivals to do just that. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Then we tell you we're brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza. On Monday nights, there's no football, but there is pizza. Domino's.com. Get the app. There is pizza. Get it Brooklyn style, thin crust, hand tossed, whatever you like. Domino's will make the pizza happen. After the weekend and everything else, and kind of dad food and, whatever barbecue and stuff, hey, maybe you just want a pizza. Pete's Tire in Ropesville, Texas. Pete's Tire Service. Roadside assistance. Have them on your phone if you travel around West Texas. You never know when you're going to have a flat tire. And what you do know is it's never going to be at a good time. Pete's can help you out. And now, whether it's industrial or farm truck or anything else, they handle all the people around here on the South Plains. They can get you taken care of on that. But I'm talking to you guys who you're not running a tractor, you're not doing stuff like that. But man, you have a flat somewhere and it ain't good. Who do you call? You're going to call Pete's. Thank you very much. Boots City, 197 mile outside the West Loop. Cody Wood and his crew will take you care of on the Western Wear, and of course, United Supermarkets, Market Street. Every communication we get, the chat line, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitter, we love to hear from the Twitter people. Hit us up. Or Facebook. United Supermarkets makes it happen. And they make it happen for Texas Tech, unlike some grocery stores around here. Hey there, Damon, the talking box is on. All right, let's get to it. Let's have some fun tonight. Monday, recap the weekend, whatever you want to talk about. We get in here, Texas Tech today. Thank Craig, the talking box is on. Our first Facebook performer of the night. Now all we need is our Twitter people to weigh in, and we get hundreds and hundreds of people on Twitter. And here's to you replay people. We love the replay people. If you can't get in real time, that's fine. You can still comment on the website, theraiderland.com. We archive this, or just hit me on Twitter, at Ryan Hyatt Media. The Tech Ring of Honor announcement today for football coming up this fall. Three new inductees. All-American tight end, early 70s, played on an 11-win team. Andre Tillman went on to play with the Miami Dolphins, and a huge part of their success in the early 70s with Don Shula going in, as it should be. Thomas Howard, great linebacker for Texas Tech. I believe he won a state championship in the 120 hurdles. The high hurdles, they changed, 120 yards in the early 70s. He was a great hurdler, one of the best athletes ever to play Texas Tech football. I worked a ton of games with him in the 90s, calling high school football around the area. It was like a dream come true for me as a Tech fan. Hold on. Football player, All-American, NFL player. I'm driving down the road in my truck. We're doing high school football. I'm like, this is awesome. He gets in. And Wes Welker is in as well. Two, I believe, now that are in the Tech Football Ring of Honor that were never All-Americans at Texas Tech. The other one, anyone know? Anyone? Now, Damon's cheating. He's going back and forth between YouTube and Twitter. So now we've got Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook all represented on the United Supermarkets chat line, and we thank United Supermarkets for that. Yeah, the other one, Patrick Mahomes. Very interesting. So we asked the question tonight. Here's the question. Here's the debate with the Tech Football Ring of Honor. And it is such a spurious discussion. that exist in a vacuum away from real world consequences and stuff that's happening that matters. Do you want a Ring of Honor at Texas Tech for football that is exclusive or inclusive? What do you want? What is the Ring of Honor? And you've got Texas Tech now, bless their hearts. I get it. I understand. You got the Ring of Honor in football. You got the Hall of Honor. You got the Hall of Fame. I think they have a deal where there's like guys who are pretty cool thing. You know what I'm saying? So should it be hard? Well, that's not the right word. Exclusive or inclusive? A lot more people in the Ring of Honor? Or should that be the last backstop of celebration of Texas Tech football? That you do have the Hall of Fame. You do have the Hall of Honor. That's where you put players like Graham Harrell. That's where you put players, whatever. I'm utilizing Wes Welker here. And would I have him in the Ring of Honor? No. No, I would not. I would not have Wes Welker in the Ring of Honor. Now, would I have Patrick Mahomes in the Ring of Honor right now at Texas Tech? They started the Ring of Honor in 2012. You had 3 initial inductees. Was it 12 or 13? 12 or 13? I think it was 12. And you had Donnie Anderson, you had E.J. Holub, and you had Dave Parks. Gabe Rivera in 14. He should have been in the first class. Zach Thomas in 16. Crabtree in 21, along with Elmer Tarbox, who should have been in 2013. And then Mahomes 2 years ago. So what exactly should the Ring of Honor be? Ryan chimes in, the guys that were good at Tech and made a big impact in NFL should be in. I disagree. The guys who are great at Texas Tech should be in. Stop. Full stop. Period. End of sentence. The guys who were great at Texas Tech should be in the Ring of Honor. End of sentence. The NFL should have zero impact, in my opinion, on being in the Ring of Honor. But I want Wes Welker in there because we loved him and he went on. And I want Patrick Mahomes because he's won 3 Super Bowls. I get that. I understand it. Totally do. Because the Ring of Honor serves 2 purposes at Texas Tech and for most places, including the Dallas Cowboys and their Ring of Honor. Tyrone Thurman. He's not tall enough to be in the Ring of Honor. Run for the Heisman Trophy. He's barely big enough to run across the street, said Spike Dykes. Meanwhile, the Ring of Honor, the Hall of Honor, the Hall of Fame, all of these things serve 2 purposes. Well, let's not forget that. One is ostensibly to celebrate greatness, to celebrate history, to allow fans to appreciate the wonderful athletes that have come through your university or the university you're a fan of, and you want to celebrate, you want to go, hey, great job. The other thing, it's a marketing deal. It's a marketing ploy. It's to get you to buy tickets and pay attention. It's to get you to go to the game because guess who's going to be there at a crap game? Patrick Mahomes. Guess who's going to be at North Texas? Well, Andre Tillman and Thomas Howard are going to be celebrated. There aren't 200 people, no offense, that would be probably motivated beyond the games going on to buy a ticket and go, I got to be there for the Ring of Honor induction for Andre Tillman, a tremendous tight end, physical, blocking, big, great hands, playing on some of the best Tech teams ever at a time when the Southwest Conference was still the Southwest Conference. Thomas Howard, nobody more physical, fast, playing linebacker than he did going to the NFL. Ain't 200 people that'll show up to watch that. But they be people showing up to get their 27 jersey on and Wes Welker going in. So you have 2 things going on here. It's a marketing deal and it's an honor deal. So I go back to the initial question for you guys tonight. And Craig says Tyrone Thurman. I'd have Tyrone Thurman in. Believe was he an All-American or not? I mean, I'd have a hard litmus test if you weren't an All-American at Texas Tech during your college days. I don't care what you did in the NFL. I don't care what you did after that. It's the Tech Ring of Honor. It's not the Tech NFL Ring of Honor. It's the Tech Ring of Honor. I don't think I'd put you in. It's harder to have your jersey retired as a Texas Tech Lady Raider player than it is to get into the Tech Football Hall of Honor. Because they established a long time ago, if you weren't on an All-American team, the jersey didn't go up into the rafters. But I digress. Or regress. Am I regressing or digressing? But we love Wes Welker, and we want to celebrate him. That's why we created the Hall of Honor, the Hall of Fame. So the question becomes, do you want a lot of people in the Ring of Honor? Do you want it to be expansive and inclusive? And if so, what does the criteria become? I wish I could read you the criteria for being in the Tech Ring of Honor. I think it's whatever the committee, the mystery committee, decides on a given day that they want to put people in. And I'm really glad the committee decided to put in Tillman and Howard. Those guys ought to be in. Monte Rager should be in the Ring of Honor before Wes Welker. People are going to go, Hyatt's bagging on Welker. He hates Welker. I love Wes Welker. Wes Welker tried to open up a halfway decent sports bar in Oklahoma City in the mid-2000s. Didn't work. Pretty crappy, actually. But he tried, and we respect that. We do. We truly do. Monte Rager should be in the Ring of Honor based on what he did at Texas Tech before Wes Welker. Did I mention I wouldn't have Mahomes in? Yeah, people don't like that either. But my God, look at what he's done. Look at what he did. Not done, did. Texas Tech. Well, he was great, man. He's just on bad teams. I can give you great players on bad teams for the last 60 years. Well, they didn't go win the Super Bowl. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Jim Hart, Ron Reeves. There you go. 100% out that. I'll give you that. Tracy Saul. The last 4-time All Southwest Conference performer. You ought to be in the Ring of Honor, you know. Bam Morris and James Gray should be in before Wes Welker. I look at my list and I don't see Bam on there, but I do see James Gray, 100% on there. I do. Bam, fascinating. Want to get, 1725 was that his total yardage? Okay, I can get there on that, Craig. We can do that. I can get there on Byron Hanspar. Why are you running down Wes Welker? What do you have against Wes Welker? Nothing. We're talking about the Ring of Honor. Now, why do you put Wes Welker in? Again, it's a marketing deal. You want people to show up. How many people would show up for Wes Welker wearing their jersey versus wearing their 31 jersey from '89? I get it. I understand. So what I'm asking you Texas Tech fans tonight who are watching this in real time live as we speak, what do you want the Ring of Honor to be? Not the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Honor, not the Ring of Honor where they put the names around the deal and do all that stuff. What do you want it to be? You want 100 people in there? You want it small? What do you want it to be? Man, Hyatt's just so curmudgeonly and old and cranky. No, that's not it. It should mean everything to me to be in the Ring of Honor. And I'm using Welker as the foil here. Welker had a great career at Texas Tech, a fine career. He, people give him credit for creating a position. Well, no, that position, the slot receiver, it existed a long time. But he was able to maximize it with the Mike Leach offense and do some cool things. And he was a great punt returner. Texas had great punt returners before, too, even before Welker. I know it's hard to believe. There are, and this is the problem when we get into these rings of honor. We've had this debate with the Cowboys over the years. You know, who would the Welker, man, I'm going to have to and I know how to do this. I can get in touch with him, say, hey, don't take it personally. You know, and he might or might not. That's cool. Don't care. But I get it. People forget about guys like Andre Tillman. They forget how good those teams. He was great on great teams. Thomas Howard was great on really good and a great team. I get it. You know, CJ says the Ring of Honor should have the best players that meant the most to the double T when they play here. Okay, but how do we define that? How do we put a hard definition on that? Do you put a cap on that? Do you say you got to be an All-American? Do you got to be this? You got to be that? You know, and that's why we have committees, and that's why we have people that create this, as opposed to say, what is it, the World Golf Hall of Fame, where if you win a certain amount of tournaments, you're automatically in. Okay, well, you know, that's something. And I'm really more intrigued, and we got people on Twitter. Love the people on Twitter. Hit us, thanks to United Supermarkets. Get the conversation going if you're on Twitter. United Supermarkets, taking care of all your communication needs here, and then all of your grocery needs. Yes. What did I need today? Lemons. Not Joe Ely, crazy lemon, but I need lemons. Went to United, got lemons. It was really nice. Great experience. So if you're on Twitter, we want to hear from you. On YouTube, on Facebook, all of you guys can communicate with us. But the big question is, what do you want? Do you want it big or small? Do you want 3 people in a year? 1 people in a year? What do you want it to be? What do you want that Ring of Honor to be? Because again, Texas Tech has multiple layers and levels of recognizing greatness. And they're all fantastic. And if you're in the Hall of Honor, in the Hall of Fame, or the whatever it might be, yeah. But when we get to the Ring of Honor, what do you want that to be? That's what Texas is going to have to grapple with. Grapple. But wrestling, we're going to grapple. We're going to grapple here. That's what they're going to have to grapple with in the coming years. Do you want 3 or 4 people going in? You want 5? I can give you 5 next year. But how many do you want in? And does it just then become just, hey, people liked you, so you're in? Fake Natalie Maines. I knew Natalie Maines. Natalie Maines was almost a friend of mine. You're no Natalie Maines. Welker's interview when he was asked about the Jets in the playoffs and worked in all kinds of foot jokes in reference to Rex Ryan, got into the Ring of Honor. I remember that. That was epic. Welker's hilarious. Welker's funny. We love Welker. Welker should 100% be in the Hall of Honor or Hall of Fame. I don't know which one they put it. CJ says, but in this day and time, it's all about a money play. Should have a vintage double T Ring of Honor and an ugly double T Ring of Honor. That's the comment of the night. Thanks for Craig. We can all go home now. We'll have no more discussions on Rings of Honor or Halls of Fame. Yes, the real double T, the crap double T. Beautiful. No, CJ, I understand what you're saying, and I kind of said that earlier, that these things now exist on multiple planes. The actual recognition and wanting people to know history and celebrating that. And did they put Mahomes in 2 years ago? Because, well, why did they put it? Because he's not quarterback in the NFL, and they knew people would come, and he, might make it happy, and he might give money to Tech, and it was, yeah. I mean, would it have changed anything about his legacy if he went in 10 years from now? Would it change if he didn't go in? I know he had great numbers. He had fantastic numbers. He should not be in before Ron freaking Reeves. He shouldn't. Or Jamie Gill. Or Billy Joe Tolliver. Kevin Williams. Where do you want me to stop? Joe Barnes. Tommy Wilson. So here we are having the discussion. And again, I'm not picking on Welker. It's the foil that I use to have this discussion about something I think fans kind of care about. I think you guys care about. I know you care about it because Ted cares about it because they do it. They do the Ring of Honor thing. Randy, will they dilute the Ring of Honor with so many names? Will they run out of room adding so many every year? Yeah, that's the other thing. How small would they have to start making the names? You know? Well, we'll just build more and, put it up there. But no, you dilute it at a certain point. I think in our realm, and I could be wrong, but I think when people around here in West Texas, the most Tech fans wherever you live, when you hear Ring of Honor, you still think Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. And how freaking hard it was to get into that thing at Texas Stadium. And Tex Schramm created it. I believe the first inductees went in when Clint Murchison was still the owner. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. But Tex Schramm created it. And it was a marketing ploy because everything's a marketing ploy in the NFL. But it's damn hard to get in that thing. Craig says, Big Obi could throw the ball 100 yards, but couldn't hit a screen. Yes, bless his heart. He could, fire a laser beam 45 yards. And watching him try to throw a screen pass to Irvin Ferris was one of the most painful, awful things. Clifton Winston, the other fullback in the lineup, they would run a fullback screen, and you had a couple of different screens, and he would just decapitate you. Oh, man, the Dick Winder offense. So good. So good. Jared, track athlete honoring should be a hurdle, a high jump, pole vault, mat, or baton. Not exactly sure where we're going here. Like, that's the award. That's what you get. But anyhow. Brian Dubisky ought to be in the Ring of Honor. Hurdler, defensive back, beat Texas. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's feel good. I'm just really thankful that whoever's on this committee did put in Tillman and did put in Howard. I want to say again, I got to know Thomas Howard. It was really awesome. Doing high school football in the 90s, I got to work with a lot of cool guys. All-American Thomas Howard, All-American Richard Campbell, God rest his soul, and just a lot of different people. And, here I am, just some sort of slap, kid driving around West Texas, going to games. And I'm like, I didn't even care about the game. I was just like, hey, man, I'm glad we're hanging out. Me and Thomas went up to call Monterey at Borger, early 90s. And that's when you would go early to get to Sutphin's Barbecue. And we got there and we ate barbecue, and the game was secondary. I can't even tell you whether Monterey won or lost. Couldn't begin to tell you. But I remember the barbecue, and I remember that there was one year I got my knees scoped right in August before football season started in '93, and I remember Thomas Howard helping me up the steps. This is right. We were doing a friendship game. I want to say Friendship Hereford, but it could be wrong. Anyhow, Thomas had to help me up the steps at that new press box at Friendship when they just built it. And I'm like, this is either the greatest day of my life or the worst day of my life. That, Thomas had knee injuries and everything else. I'm like, neither one of us can walk. Here we are. Gotten to do a lot of cool things. Helmet sticker to Ludwig Ober for the U.S. Open. Great. He gave us 2.5 days of greatness. He'll get there. He'll be there. Ober was fantastic. He'll be fine. He is fine. Got about 5 more minutes. Where the hell's David Collier tonight? Oh, that's right. He's off. He's off on Monday. He's celebrating Father's Day. So one more time, tell me, Do you want a lot of people in the Ring of Honor, a ton of people, or do you want it really exclusive? Is this the right time for Wes Welker? Or are we only putting him in because he's available and it's popular? Are there other players that should be in before that? You tell me. You can get me on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. You can. He just signed on. How kinky is that? You can get me on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. We'll post this on the website, theraiderland.com. You can comment there. And then tomorrow morning, Tuesday's best, we always give you a cool topic. You can sound off on that. We love everybody who hits us on the website. We do what we call Raiderland hot links every day. The best links, the cool, fresh, hot links around Raiderland. And if you see something that you think we ought to know about, hit us up there. Put it in the comment section, everything else. All right, so we got like, what, 4 minutes of Collier time? So he's not going to weigh in on this. He should, because he's not wed to anything regarding Texas Tech other than trying to make a living. I don't even know if Oklahoma has a Ring of Honor. They probably do. I guess I don't know. Collier, Obear, and Obear all in the ring. It's Obear, it's Obear, it's Obear. Ludwig Obear. Just say Obear. It's easy to do it. Don't pay any attention to the CBS broadcasters. Pay attention to all the Golf Channel guys. They get it right. It's Obear. It's not hard. You can even Google it on the Golf Channel and find Ludwig Obear saying Obear. It's not hard. We can do this. Rager should be in. Hadnot should be in. Saul, Gray, Hansport. That's just some of the recent guys. OSU has their Heisman land. They don't need a Ring of Honor. True. Very true. Too true. That stings, Randy. Stings a little bit. Hey, Collier, if you're still here, what is the Oklahoma version of what OSU has with their little sports museum there at Gallagher-Iba and the stadium? Does Oklahoma, do they have a Heisman Hall? I'm not being funny here. I'm like being serious because I've been to OU and to Norman scans of times, but do they have like a Heisman Hall type museum setup or anything? Not being funny. Asking. Hall of Fame puts all the greats in. Not everyone needs to go in the ring. Look at him go. That's a definitive answer. That's a definitive statement from David frickin' Collier, who's on TV. See, I know it's kind of a wordy question about that whole OU thing. USC, I've been to Heritage Hall, different places like that. I assume Oklahoma has something like that. I just hadn't been to it on the football side. Apologize. Assume they do. Yeah. Anybody ever use Blue Emu? Johnny Bench, the catcher, pimps it and everything. It works. I'm going to put some on my left elbow. I don't know why. It's kind of funky on it. When you get to be my age, you will wake up every day and go, what the hell is working today? What the hell is not working? And what kind of ointment or balm do we need to put on it? So, yeah. Heisman Park. Okay. Gotcha. I need to Google that, see what it looks like. So before we go, let me say once again, Gio, I got nothing against the Ring of Honor. I got nothing against Wes Welker being in it. Biofreeze, yeah. Just because I wouldn't put them in yet doesn't mean they can't be in, obviously. Like I'm running any sort of show. Hell, I ain't even running the show here at the house. But I do think it's worth having great discussions and great questions about the function of the Ring of Honor going forward, who you want in, who you don't want in, how many you want in, how many you don't want in. And that's okay. That's what makes this fun. That's what you wanted, right, Gio? Right, Kirby? That's what you wanted. Discussion, interest, and people showing up when North Texas shows up and go, I've been wearing this Wes Welker jersey since 2003. I think it looked good on me still. He's the best ever. Bet that got to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. Why the hell am we in Louisiana all of a sudden? No, I've got a friend, and his answer to everything is Wes Welker. And all I could think of was earlier today when the announcement was made that he was kind of curled up in a fetal position, bleating like a goat in joy. That his man, Wes Welker, the answer to all of his questions, the greatest ever at Texas Tech, was going in the Ring of Honor. It's true, green, white, checker. Yeah, a little bit, little bit, little bit. So, Robert C., wherever you are tonight, your man is in. Congratulations. I ask you guys one more thing. Love everybody who shows up. Follow us on Twitter and YouTube and all that good stuff. On YouTube, subscribe. We're gunning for 500 this month. It's a crazy big ass goal. We want 500 subscribers, so you guys can make it happen. Whether you watch it on YouTube or not, subscribe. Grow Raiderland. Then on Facebook and on Twitter and everything else, again, share it. Grow it that way. We ask you to do that. And then everybody on the replay people, thank you so much. You guys, we can't tell you thank you too much. Want to thank our great sponsors like Domino's Pizza. Doesn't get any better than that. Pete's Tire and Pete's Tire Service in Ropesville, Texas. Put it in your phone. Roadside service. If you have a flat or blowout around here, they'll get you taken care of. And of course, Arctic Air. The air is Arctic until it's not. And when it's not, you call the bear. I got to hit a button. Which button do I got to hit? I feel like Joe Biden all of a sudden. Do I hit a button? What button?